All right, everybody, I hope you are ready for a treat today. I'm going to do a YouTube video on the different ways that you can sell stocks. Now, this is going to be great if you are trying to lock in the amount of gain or the amount of loss that you're trying to pick up for the year end. And this is going to be great for tax planning purposes. So do not miss out on this. Before I go on though, there are 3 simple things I want you to do if you're getting value out of my content. Number 1, I want you to like the video, so easy to do. Number 2, subscribe to my channel so you can get more great content delivered to you. Number 3, share it with your friends. And then if you really love me, you'll put the little bell on top so you get the alerts. So we're going to talk about how to sell a stock. There are 3 different ways to do it. There is last in, first out, first in, first out, specific shares. Now I will say, when you have a broker, it's always going to default to first in, first out, generally. So just know that, like when you go and just blindly sell, it's going to default to that. So just be aware of that. So let's walk through it. We'll walk through FIFO first, and then we'll do LIFO and specific shares. And here's how I like to do it. We'll pick a stock, and we'll pick Tesla. Now, the current price of Tesla, we're going to say the current price is 1,000 per share. Okay? And so you're at year end, and you're looking at like what you've purchased, and let's say like you're a Tesla diehard. This is what you've purchased. And let's say you bought 100 shares at $500 each on, I don't know, January 2nd, 2020. And then you bought 100 shares at $750 on June 1st, 20. And then maybe you bought 50 more shares, you topped it off at on October 1st. So you really like Tesla stock, right? You really like it. Now, so again, what you have here is I've purchased 100 shares on January 1st of 2020. I purchased 100 shares at $750 on June 1st, 2020. And then I purchased 50 shares at $12.50 each. And so I wrote a little small because I want to make the point. And the current price is $1,000 a share. Now, with FIFO, and I'm going to erase this on top, how to sell stock. We're going to cover each one of these. So let's do FIFO first. I'm going to put this up here because we're going to change this as we go. This means first in, first out. Let's say you want to sell 10 shares. So you want to sell 10, SHS is abbreviation for shares. So you want to sell. If you use FIFO, this means the oldest shares will be sold first. This means, in this case, what you're going to do is you're going to sell your 100 shares at $500 each. So you're going to sell 10 of these shares. So your gain will be 10 times 1,000 minus 500. That's what you bought them for. So that'll be $5,000, right? Does that make sense? That makes sense, right? You're selling 10 shares. $1,000 is what the current price is, so you're going to get $10,000, but you bought them for $500. So your cost basis is $5. What will happen then is after that, you'll show 90 shares here. Okay? and your cost basis will adjust, your average cost basis will adjust to reflect that. So you'll have a $5,000 gain, and let me write gain. We want to be clear here. So we have a $5,000 gain there. Now, what happens if we do LIFO? So let's get this out, and let's clear this up. Everything else is still the same with the fact pattern, okay? But this time, we're gonna select, and again, you go in your broker, you select these, how you wanna sell. You wanna sell LIFO. That means the last in, first out. This means you're gonna do the newest shares first. So now, what we're gonna do is instead of selling these old ones here at $500 a piece, we're gonna sell these 10 of the 50 of the 1250. So we're $1,000 minus 1250, because that's what I bought them for. That's a 2,500 loss. So, do you see what happened? We did the exact same transaction, we sold, but because we picked, we went from having a $5,000 gain to a $2,500 loss. That's a big difference. And so this is the power of being able to select how you want to sell your shares, because you can, based on these parameters, you can pick how you want to do it. And this is what makes it so awesome. So like, if you have a lot of gain, like you have tons of gains, and you have this, you can tax loss harvest. Let's say you have a lot of losses this year. Maybe it wasn't your year for trading and you're sitting on losses. We'll sell some of the original stock. Why? Because in the future, when you do well, like you're picking up some of the gains now when you have a lot of losses, which saves you on taxes. If you wait till a year where you have a bunch of gains, and let's say you've been selling off these shares and these are the only ones you have left, you could pay more tax than you want. So this is kind of why it's a great way to kind of optimize your taxes. So don't miss out on this. Now, the last thing here you can do are, and I have the right pen here, so I'm just gonna write it, specific shares. Now, what does this means that you can go in, and what your broker will show you, when you go and you hit that, it knows you want to have 10 shares sold, right? So it will let you mix and match. So you could literally say, I want 2 here, 3 here, 4 here. And I cannot add, we'll say 3. Sorry, gotta add the 10. So you can pick, you can mix and match and play with this and figure out, how do I want to optimize my taxes? Maybe what you could do, watch this cool little trick. What happens is if you did 5 and 5 here, let's say you sold 5 and 5. Let's walk through the game. Okay, so I do 5 shares times, and I'm $1,000 minus 750, which is 1,250 gain, right? And in this case, it's 500 times 12,000, right? That's 1,250. So you see how I cancel out my gain? I sold shares, got cash in my pocket, and I have no gain. Now, I do understand that this is gonna be long term, that's gonna be short term. I get that, but losses will net out. Like if that's the only thing you've done, is ultimately they do net out. So just know that. You usually net long term with long term, short term with short term, and then you can go across and net them that way. But just know that you can do this. And this could be a good strategy if you want to get cash, but you don't want to pay tax on it. So just look at this as another opportunity. So again, this is the power of understanding this stuff, because you can use it to really optimize your tax situation. So don't take advantage of this. And again, every broker will give you the option to do it. So hopefully you got a lot of value out of this. Share it with your friends, like this video, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. You all have a great